Hey, Brandon, before we go live, I just had to talk to you about something actually that's pretty serious.
Okay.
I went to the doctor yesterday, just
Yeah.
kind of a routine checkup before the season, and they found fire in my gut.
Oh,
So,
that's incurable.
I drove to the
Mhm.
doctor, and then I took the bus back. And
Are you okay to do a show today?
yeah, I mean, it's just
Are you gonna
fire in my gut.
you
You
gonna
know,
tell everybody, or are we just gonna keep this between us for now?
I really think the only way we should tell everybody if it's done in the most monotonous and least hyped way possible. I think that's the only way to deliver the news.
Okay. Sounds good.
Who drove over here? Quick, let me see your hands. Who took the bus? Did you have fire in your gut? Did you? We're here for a reason. Don't get that twisted, okay?
Oh, baby. We here.
We steer.
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is a G. A P. S. Nailed it. Nailed it. Nailed it. It's the calm before the storm. And listen, all I want to say is, Brandon, I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you. You're just like Jonathan Gannon. They had 70 sacks. I told you that Eagles fans did not like this man. And then it comes from the Cardinals because they're trying to do a little behind the scenes, hard knockish kind of stuff. And so they put out a 17-minute video last night and a clip of that, which I thought maybe it was just like cut really bad. And they're like, oh, like maybe they're doing that. No. That's how they released it. It's like, any of you drove here? How many of you took the bus? You got fire in your gut? Like, it's just such a weird trend. And it's the blank stares that do it for me of like,
Yeah. Well. Okay.
it's not good, Brandon. I
never said he's going to be a good head coach. I still think he was a good defensive coordinator for the Eagles. Okay,
fine.
so because Hackett was a disaster, and don't get me wrong, Gannon gives off the Hackett vibes, right? In terms of how they talk. Are you gonna say Hackett was bad at his job with the Packers?
No, he was great as an OC. He was good. I mean, I will say that Hold on. That last year that he was with the Packers, their red zone efficiency did not go up. It went down. So, first of all. Second of all, boom. Again, I'm telling you the facts that there is a good amount of Eagles fans that did not like this man.
That's fine. And fans don't like a lot of things.
That's very true. It's very true. It's very true. But, dude, you can't tell me if I have sat through professional development as a teacher that has been given more enthusiasm, hype, some type of motivating factor than what that was. And I'm
I'm not defending that.
It's giving off bad vibes. It's giving off bad. And they tampered to get him, Perna.
I brought in this clip.
Buckle up. We're going to have some fun.
I brought that in. I've been on the Gannon is weird hype trade since we started learning about this.
Dude,
this blessing for us in content.
It honestly, I hope they do this throughout the year. I hope they do. I hope they put it out every single week just for Jonathan Gannon to be like, hey.
Buckle up. I need Johnny Barks to just smash cut all of those together for me. The Bird Gang, let's ride. The fire in your gut.
Yeah.
And after he says fire in your gut, I want you to cut to Harry Dunn from Dumb and Dumber
Open.
going
Yes.
hard on that toilet. Okay.
There you go.
That's the only way this works.
That. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Thank you.
He wasn't awful. I mean, there was things that he did that weren't great. I think some of the talent was like,
what do you guys do? Oh my, you revisionist fucks. I swear
it's
to Christ.
not revisionist. My dude.
Revisionist.
I'm telling you, it wasn't great. It wasn't
Eagles
that
defense
great.
was very good.
Yes, their D-line was phenomenal last year. Insane. Most sacks that they had. There were also games where it wasn't good.
That's every team has some games where, their defense wasn't as good. So you go, okay, everything that went wrong with that defense was the defensive coordinator's fault.
No. One of those games was the Super Bowl, Brandon.
The Super Bowl against the best offense and team in the NFL, where the grass was made to cheat for the Chiefs.
Colts beat them.
Slippery grass. Well, that is maybe still the weirdest thing that happened in 2022.
Colts beat them. I'm just
And
saying.
the Texans almost beat the Chiefs.
So that you're arguing against yourself.
No, I'm just saying. All I am saying is
he's not
this.
awful. He's not putrid. I'm not trying to say
what we're doing right now is, Jonathan Gannon's probably not ready to be a head coach.
Not yet.
Jonathan Gannon is kind of weird. That means Jonathan Gannon sucked as a defensive coordinator too, and he should have never even gotten the job.
No. I'm making the argument.
Trying to say.
I'm making the argument that his last season as the Eagles
Who
DC
drove over here?
got him that head coaching job. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know about that in terms of experience and qualifications, because there were some negatives to it. Though there was a very good defense for the Eagles last year.
That's all
they tampered to get him, and this has been the response. Like, this is what's been coming out from the organization.
Yeah, all that's fair. Everything you just said is fair.
Doesn't look good. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't look great.
And I'm not saying he should have become a head coach, right?
At some point, yes, I will go.
He went to the worst job in the league for this season. So
yes,
that is what it is. A lot of the time, that is not the best head coaching candidate that's out there. Eagles fans were mad that he had to interview for the gig during the playoffs. That's like all of the coordinators deal with that shit. And when you lose, it becomes a thing that gets scrutinized. I think the NFL wants to kind of change that at some point, but we see this happen a lot. And I've just defended him, saying he was good at being a defensive coordinator. But to your point, he had a lot of talent. And in the NFL, we see a lot of coaches get jobs because they are coaching units that are incredibly talented.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be part of this. He's young, which is really nice now. Like, if you are a young coordinator, teams are like, yeah, maybe you're the next guy. But this stuff, I think we've been given too many coach speeches, too many situations where we're seeing coaches talk to players. And before we got all of this access, we had movies where we see these inspirational speeches from coaches, and then the team goes out and wins. I don't ever really think it has ever worked or happened like that. Maybe once a season in a halftime moment, your coach fires guys up and they go out and play. Mostly now people watch and listen to the coaches, and we as fans, and then the players in there are just huh? Can we just talk about what we need to do better?
What was it? Was it Peyton Manning who came out last season and was everyone says halftime adjustments, but usually the time we go in there, we have some water or Gatorade, and we're all right, and then we go back out there, and then that's it. Yeah. So I feel like there's that aspect. You're 100% right. It was also with Hard Knocks too. And again, I only watched the opening episode, so I can't claim anything. But when Robert Saleh got up there, he was reading from a script, And like, it just seemed very unnatural.
Yeah.
And maybe this is for show. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's like, hey, you have to have that rousing the team moment because that's what's going to get people going. And those guys are just, that's not their strengths, right? Because there's head coaches out there that like, maybe they're not giving the rah-rah speech, but they're like so brilliant that they could be like, oh, I don't need to do that. So it seems like every time Andy Reid, right, is going up there, like, I don't know if he's just like, rah! He's just like, no, we're going to go out there and we're just going to destroy them, right? Like that's, or we're going to run snow globes. So maybe Gannon's just not that guy. It just is not a good look when all the scrutiny is already on the Cardinals. And then this comes out as well. It just seems like missteps are being taken. Like this wasn't just from like a fan was recording or like whatever. Like this came out from the team and it did not make the team look better or like comfort any concerns that fans may have.
It's giving me 2022 Denver Broncos vibes. And the only difference is we all expect the Cardinals to not be good. And this is just fueling that.
Yes. Yes. 100%.
Let me just play the whole clip so everybody can see the whole thing here.
Whole thing.
Quick, let me see your hands. Who took the bus? Did you have fire in your gut? Did you?
Can I
We're
ask?
here for a reason. Don't get.
What's the correlation?
You got fire to get.
What's the correlation between driving and is he? I thought he was going with like, oh, you know, some guys they don't have a car, like they had to take a bus here, right? They have that fire in your gut, and I was like, oh, maybe that's where they're going. Nope. It's just like, what mode of transportation did you do to get here? Did you rollerblade here? Did you take a skateboard? Did you walk?
I'd like to advocate for public transport. It is very hot here in Arizona already, and we do not need to contribute with extra carbon emissions.
Well, that's so like, here's what I'm saying. If this was cut, that's why I thought it was just cut weird. And maybe the preview on Twitter was like, oh, like maybe this is not so great. But then I went to their YouTube page to look. And the first comment was, I can tell from the first 90 seconds that Jonathan Gannon's going to be different. And I was like, that's the nicest thing you could say. One. The second thing was like, no, this is how it was put out. There's something that's like compressed a little bit, but it's just a weird cut. I don't know. It's very weird. And I don't see the correlation.
That twisted. Okay, we're here for a reason to win games. So if you didn't have that fire in your gut, you better light the fire pretty fast. Be who you are. Just understand, I'm looking for killers.
Like if you would have just started it with that,
yes, done.
We'd have been like, yeah, okay,
Yes.
Gannon.
Yes, exactly. Because the end, it's like, okay, like, yeah, you want killers. The actual intro is a lot long. Like it is a good amount longer of his speech. Like he says other things, but
no, let's just talk about this funny part.
No, but it's weird, dude. It's just odd. And I feel like you need to, I don't know, and maybe this is just my opinion. I obviously never played football at a professional level. And like this would be a great question actually for Kurt, because he's seen it enough. Like the styles of head coach, like do you does every coach try to do that rah-rah, or is that a part? Or is that like, if you're a player sitting there, because from my perspective, if I'm a player sitting there and he's talking about that, I'm like, like there's like, this is not great.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
I think like a coach can get away with being, unique in their speeches when it's the whole team meetings, because those aren't as like the big team meetings. Like you've got position group meetings. That's more of the common way you're interacting. And the head coach kind of like chooses like what he's going to focus on. It's usually coordinators led, right? And I think it can be weird. You can like even be like completely unrelatable in these big season meetings. But if players respect how you approach day to day as a head coach, and that when you're like out there practicing and doing things, you're showcasing that you're a leader and you're correcting things, and they're buying into schematically like what you want to do. I think all of this other stuff's kind of like irrelevant.
Sure.
But if they have questions about any of that other stuff, and then you have like these meetings where it's public and people kind of dunk on your coach, justly or unjustly so, like it compounds a bad situation quickly. And it's exactly what happened to the Broncos last year. And right now, like, the Jets are on Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
We're getting some stuff. We're getting the Nathaniel Hackett Tugalicious stuff all over again. You know what I mean? And Rodgers likes it. And if they're scoring touchdowns, like, Tugalicious will be like a fun thing the Jets talk about. While they're playing that, they're just pulling clips of him saying Tugalicious as a Broncos coach going, this guy is out of his gourd. You know what I mean? Like,
sure. But it doesn't matter because, like, he's with Rodgers and Rodgers vouches for him. So, like, it's all good, right? Well, like,
gets the system. He's going to
look at Mike McDaniel, right? I wouldn't say like Mike McDaniel is like a typical coach that like we're used to seeing, right? He's like a nerdy dude, which I love. Like, I'm all about it.
He's my favorite.
Yeah,
by
but
far.
It doesn't seem like he's doing this stuff. You know what I mean?
It seems like who he is.
Yeah, it's just he's just a dude. Like, he's just like, no, like, this is my coaching style. This seems unnatural for him. Right. And again,
that's fair.
All outside perception. Like, this is because, again, buckle up. We're gonna have some fun meeting Buda Baker. Like, the dude just seems like a nerdy dude, which is all good. Like, I'm about it. I'm a nerdy dude. Right. But it just seems like for that, I was like, okay, this just seems weird. As a public speaker, it just seems off.
He's like trying to bridge being a nerdy dude and you're like hardcore. Like, let's go out there and blow some fucking skulls up today, guys. Like, if I were a head coach, basically to motivate my players, I would get photos of all of their significant others.
There you go.
And I would just have a meeting, and then I would personally rank on a hotness scale who is doing the best.
So if a player's doing better, their significant other moves up? Or
no, I'll be like, I don't care how any of you perform on the field. I'm going to roast you for your wives, girlfriends, and or boyfriends based on their looks and looks alone.
To motivate them.
Yep.
Okay.
No way you cut to their soul quicker. Then I have them in my hand, the palm of my hand. Then
what if they're single?
Then they're my putty. Once I break them, then I build them up.
No, you build them back up. No, I was a teacher. I get that. But what I'm talking about is, what if they're single?
If they have kids? Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. Okay.
Your kid looks like, boom, roasted.
So again, if they're single, how do you?
Oh, they don't even have a chance.
We're just gonna
find
have
somebody to love you off the field because you ain't getting no love here. See, I just riff like Jonathan Gannon.
Do you think he does that after, like, when we had to do like the cuts down to 53?
No, I don't sexually harass any of them. I'm not Dan Snyder.
I'm just commenting.
I think on looks, which are
when
the
he
most
comes down to
thing on earth. What?
Cutting down the roster? Do you think he did that? He was like, "Sorry, man."
He's like,
"Gotta go."
Look, we gotta let you go, and that's because you didn't convince me you had fire in your gut. You proved to me you got fire in your gut. Roster spot. Talking about belittling players and attacking their personal lives.
Here's the thing, though. Now, we have seen 2 clips now involving driving or transportation. Because buckle up, you are in a moving vehicle, right? And now he's talking about the bus. He's talking about the car. Maybe the dude is just like a transportation enthusiast.
I think he's about he's one sentence away from hitting "Let's Ride." He's about one sentence away, Tom.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that.
Today we're gonna debut Rachel's new bad NFL logos as we predict our teams that can make it into the playoffs. Goodbye, everyone. I have to listen to Gannon's speeches to prepare for my sermon. Nice.
You got the Holy Spirit in your gut?
Yeah.
You got it?
Is Jesus in your guts? Huh?
What?
Huh?
Oh, okay. All right. Real quick, because a little breaking news too. So Mike Evans, the report came out this morning that he's basically given the Buccaneers a deadline of week 1, which is in a week. Hey, I want a new contract or I'm not going to be here in 2024.
Ooh, Mike Evans, free agent at his age. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Dude, if he has 1,000 yards with Baker Mayfield this year,
I think he's gonna.
Evans, I wouldn't sign that.
No,
all he's done through his career is make quarterbacks look good. Go out there, ball out one more. I think he's one of those ageless sort of receivers.
He's one of the most consistent receivers in the NFL, and he is often. I know when Brady, not really, but like he is often like overlooked because I think like he's just that guy. Like regardless of who's throwing the ball, like he's gonna get 1,000 yards. Yeah. So if he's able, like you said, if he's able to do that this season, like yeah.
I don't even know why he'd want to stay there. Honestly,
no.
Go over to Miami. Let's go to Miami.
Well, I mean,
it's a different type of receiver than Hill and Waddle. Like that would be fun. Dolphins doesn't have to uproot his family if he has one. I don't know. I'm not Gannon. I'm not going to berate his life choices.
I will say that little controversy here because it also came out that there was a report that the Packers and Dolphins were willing to make Jonathan Taylor like one of the highest paid backs in the league.
Oh, so I do want to talk about this.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk about that. Also, just a fun fact, Aaron Jones just bought a house in Miami.
Jake Bobo. Aaron Jones bought a house in Miami?
He did, yes. Not going to start rumors or anything, but we're going to talk about TJ Hockenson too. But yeah, he did. He did.
Check it. I did not drop an Underdog fantasy draft link today because it was a little distracting I can't multitask. We'll do one a week. We'll do some of those drafts. But today, we've got the first regular season pick 'em higher or lower. Ooh. I am willing to make my picks right here live now. I already set one. A week away. So here in Colorado, we can only pick on fantasy points. I got to pick 4 players to put in this. If you want to play the Pick'em games, use our link below, Underdog. Sign up there, code GPS. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. But here's what I'm thinking. Jared Goff, 17.35 fantasy points. I feel like that's going to be higher. I'm going higher on Goff. Now, here's a tricky one. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. They got Gibbs at 9.65 for week 1. Montgomery 9.1. Like, are the Lions going to go out and give Gibbs a heavy workload week 1, a rookie against the Chiefs? I know they're thrilled to get him in the draft, right? But to me, it feels like Montgomery's going to get a little more work week 1, a little more trusted vet sitch. So I'm just going to go lower here on Gibbs. I'm going to go lower on Gibbs. Now, go down here to the Kansas City Chiefs. Travis Kelce, 14.5. That's Dan Campbell, former tight end. Think he's got a plan for a tight end on defense? I'm going to say lower, Travis. Sorry. Ooh. Now, the Chiefs receiving situation I find very interesting.
I would just want Perna to work this out himself because I'm not going to even have input. We're just going to see how well he does.
Because, look, we've got Kadarius Toney, who I think if and when healthy, kind of will be the lead receiver. That's a big if at this point, right? He's not 100% right now. MVS. Maybe. Big game potential. Sky Moore. It's Toney or Sky Moore is going to go into that like wide receiver 2 number role, I feel like, this year. But since he's injured, I think, still dealing with that groin, I'm going to go lower on Kadarius Toney because I think somebody weird's going to have a big game for the Chiefs. I feel like MVS is going to have like 2 touchdowns in this game. Those are my 4 picks. What do you think, Tom? Should I roll?
I think you should go 5.
You want me to do another one?
Yeah.
Isaiah Pacheco, 9.5. I'm going to go higher on Jerick McKinnon. Higher than 5.
Oh, you want to know my thoughts now?
You
want to know my thoughts?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate all of it.
Oh, good. Now I'm gonna go 100. I'm gonna do 100.
Jesus.
The more you hate it, the more I'm doubling down. Submit, baby. Confirm. Yes.
Brandon.
Yes.
Brandon,
Ah!
if you win that, I will give you $100.
Cool.
If you win it.
This is not crazy.
Yeah, no, buddy, it's not good. It's not good.
You just watch. You just watch, baby.
Why wouldn't you go for like was Patty Mahomes in there?
Yeah, but his fantasy totals like 24.5 points.
So just pick lower.
Nope. Well, I already made a set of picks, so I was trying to do a different set.
I wouldn't have put anything on Gibbs because you have never seen him play in the NFL before.
Yeah, I took lower. I took lower on Gibbs.
I don't. No. I'm saying I wouldn't, because you don't know. The Lions might come out and throw to him 6 times if he gets a touchdown. Done.
Maybe. My gut is they're going to lean on David Montgomery just a little bit more.
I agree with you. I agree, but yeah. I don't know how they're going to.
No, we don't know. That's the point of playing. Especially
week
1. This is the most fun. This is when the
risk is
the biggest.
Let's see what we got here.
It's the biggest, baby.
Let's see what we got here. Let's see. We're gonna pull up the. You know what? Let's have a little competition, Brandon. Let's
pick yours.
Yeah, let's go. You want to just do the first game? So like Thursday's game.
Yeah, I think that's the only one that's up right now.
Okay, cool. Okay, I got it. All right. Oh, there's a booster on Patrick Mahomes having over 0.5 yards. I think he'll do well. Okay, here we go. Jared Goff. All right. 259 passing yard, 259.5, higher or lower. Yeah. Jesus.
See, Colorado, I can only do fantasy.
You can only do fantasy. See, fantasy's scary because if he throws an interception or fumbles, you'll lose fantasy points.
Yeah, it can get a little wild in there. Wild, baby.
Wow, they're only 37.5 rushing yards for Gibbs is what they're setting the line at. That's, I don't know.
See, I feel like take the over on that.
I don't know.
Dude, when I win $1,000, all of you are going to be kissing my arse.
I won $1,500 twice in preseason.
Well, you won $750 twice.
Oh, that's right. I'm so sorry. Yes, it was $1,500 total. That is correct. That is 100% accurate. Well, I have higher on the
Super Bowl. I said playoffs.
I don't know. Kelsey, 0.5 receiving touchdown. I think he'll have a tutty. I think there's a good chance he has a tutty. All right, so I'm going to go higher on that.
Kelsey has a touchdown.
I'm going to go higher on that. I'm going to go Sam Laporta, 28.5 yards. I'm actually going to go lower for that one. I like that. All right, how many do you want me to pick?
Laporta potty. Right, Chiefs fans?
You want to do 5? Is that what the...
I did 5.
Okay.
I'm no coward.
I'm going to say Goff has more than... He's going to have 2 touchdowns, I think. I think he'll have 2. I think he'll have 2. Yeah. I think that's fair. And then, you know what? Patty Mahomes. I already got that because that's done. Isaiah Pacheco.
Would they say 90 yards?
68.5 rushing plus receiving. I think he could get that.
Ooh, yeah. Take it.
How many? Yeah. Hold on, real quick. Hold on. Now I'm actually going to look.
Oh, you going to do a little research?
Yes. I am. Sorry.
You going to do a little research, Tom?
Right, what was his receiving yards like last year? I don't think he caught. Yeah, no, he barely caught anything. So I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I don't know. Ooh, Harrison Butker. They have field goals, 1.5 field goals made.
Ooh,
I don't know if I go with that.
He's gonna make 2, huh?
It's not 7.5 kicking points.
So that's 7.5 total points. Take it.
It could be just a bunch of ones though.
Yeah, I think week 1 they'll kick a field goal or 2.
7. That's a good line. That's
1 field goal, 4 extra points. That puts them at 7, right? 4 touchdowns and a field goal. That is like right on par with what the Chiefs.
I know it's a really good line.
31 points.
Should I go for a kicker?
Ready for butt kick?
I don't know. This is tough, Brandon. I don't know. You know what? I'll just say that David Montgomery is higher than 47.5 rushing yards. Okay. So the max I can only bet is $10 because I took the bonus.
The bonus. There you go.
So I can win $200. Bam. Done.
If you want to play those, you sign up with Underdog with our code, our link. You use anybody else's link, you are dead to us. And we will block you from watching this show.
You got fire in your gut?
You got fire in your guts?
Got fire in your gut?
But I'm lactose intolerant, coach.
Well, get the Pepto. All right, let's do let's talk about Jonathan Taylor real quick.
Yeah.
So because it came out.
Were getting at me.
When we went live on Wednesday, it came out that the Packers were the mystery team that was potentially looking into Jonathan Taylor. Goody gave his usual, I don't talk about guys who aren't on the team, blah, 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 blah. Now, here's why, because from the rip, it looks like it makes no sense for the Packers to go after Jonathan Taylor. They don't have a ton of cap space. It's a 1-year rental before you have to give them a major contract. They already have Aaron Jones. They already have A.J. Dillon, right? It doesn't make sense from that perspective. However, as I said, Aaron Jones, who took a pay cut to stay there, he's got 1 year left on his contract after this season, and he's getting a little bit older. I love Aaron Jones. I will always love Aaron Jones. He's like the best part about that team. 1. 2, A.J. Dillon has not done enough to justify a major contract coming up. He's in a contract year, and I think there's a decent chance, unless he balls out this year, that he is not going to be on the team. So just because the production just hasn't been there. And I think he can, like 100%. That's not saying that I don't think he can produce, but that's just where we are. And I would imagine if the Packers did make that trade for Jonathan Taylor, Dillon would probably be involved in that arrangement, and or Jones. So it makes sense a little bit, because if they legitimately think Jonathan Taylor, who's super duper young, if they think Wisconsin guy, if he could be the guy for the next few years, you sign him up for a 4-year contract. He is now the young running back. You have him locked in with Jordan Love. If you think that Jordan Love is going to be the guy, and you rock and roll. So you can make sense of it. It just seemed the timing was a little weird. But if they're looking past, like, hey, maybe Dillon and Jones aren't going to be the immediate future or the long-term future, that's it.
We're literally talking about the two teams who tried to trade for him. So
that is accurate. Yeah.
It's more like the Colts aren't letting anyone actually trade for him. And here's what sucks, okay? I think you're right. And maybe Aaron Jones, he's buying a house in Miami. They're like, we're gonna go after Jonathan Taylor, and then we're gonna trade Aaron Jones to the Dolphins. So the Packers get JTT, and then Miami's like, oh, well, give us Aaron Jones. And then that kind of happens. Don't know. That's just a guess. But the thing that stood out to me was that the news was that the Packers and the Dolphins were going to give Jonathan Taylor the contract he wanted, right? You saw that too? So two teams.
It's Justina Anderson, I think.
Yeah. Said that they were going to give him the money that he wants.
Yeah.
And the Packers said, screw you, Jonathan Taylor. We don't like their trade comp, and we're still not going to pay you. So the Colts are telling Jonathan Taylor he is not worth the money that other teams now are saying,
we'll pay him.
Yes, you are worth to us. And yet the Colts still haven't made him a contract or fixed that relationship where it will work for him. So they're preventing him from maximizing his value. And I understand that the Colts don't have to take a trade where they don't like the compensation.
Correct.
But to not take a trade where you don't like the compensation, and then the info comes out that other teams are willing to pay the guy, and then you continue to not pay him, is fucked up. It sucks for Jonathan Taylor. And a lot of people want to tell me he signed a contract. You live up to your contract. He's a rookie who signed the only contract he is allowed to sign coming in the NFL. It's written out. This is what you're going to get paid. And then he outperformed that contract. And the Colts have made no real effort to actually give him what he is worth. So I feel bad for him. And anybody trying to make the Colts look like good guys here, I just feel like you're wrong. You're missing the point. They are evil, and we should shame them.
Well, I think the Colts recognize, because the story got more complicated because Chris Ballard came out and talked too.
Yeah,
and
I like some of what he says, but I don't believe him.
Yeah. So, but that's the thing. Now there's stories that are coming out, and you don't know, is this coming from Jim Irsay? Is this coming from Chris Ballard? Like, who is not paying him? Like, is it just like, hey, is it both? We don't want. I think the Colts, in a perfect world, they want him to play the season and then he's gone. Yeah. I think that's a perfect world because apparently, again, these are all rumors. Apparently, the Dolphins were asking for like a Jalen Waddle, but we're also asking for like a second round pick on top of that. Like, you saw that too? Like, I think they were asking for like Wilkins or something. They were asking for like these big players and then like a premium day 2 pick too.
Yeah.
So it's like, what? Okay. Are you just trying to say, listen, we're not going to trade him unless somebody literally blows us away with an offer and like completely gets ripped off, which is not really going to happen.
No.
So it just doesn't make sense. And then throw on top of that how terrible the running back market is right now. Again, it just seems the Colts, want to have their cake and eat it too.
I'm trying to find out, what did the Panthers and 49ers do in the McCaffrey trade? What was the comp there?
It was like a second and a third. It was like something like that. There was multiple picks that were involved.
Yeah. That's what they should be expecting.
But he also didn't need... Well, no, because Ballard said that and said they got a lot of value for it. And I was like, well, no, it's different. Because Christian McCaffrey, if I'm not mistaken, was already under contract, yeah?
Yeah, they had to pick up the money.
Yeah, so at that point, you don't have to give him a brand new contract, which is going to potentially, break the running back market.
If the Colts couldn't afford to pay him, right? Like if it were going to put them in a precarious position, I would have a lot more sympathy for him.
There you go. So second, third, fourth, and then a fifth.
That's a lot.
They're not going to... Jonathan Taylor's not getting that.
No.
Like there's no... And I think Jonathan Taylor's a really good running back, but there's no way that he's getting that, especially when they're going to have to give him a brand new contract.
And no, Jonathan Taylor was not as good last year, but nobody on the Colts was any good last year.
He was injured.
And also, he was playing through that ankle thing that he got cleaned up at the end of the season, which is now what's being used as why he's not on the team right now.
Was it Ballard who said, did Andrew Luck didn't need a running back?
So yeah, he said some dumb shit.
And I was just like, dude, what? Like, come on.
Why is Andrew Luck gone? Because you guys failed to invest in an offensive line. Let him get
destroyed back there.
Maybe the dumbest thing he could have said.
But I'm also like, I'm sorry. When like the suck for luck thing was real, right? Because it was RG3 and it was Andrew Luck that year. People like the suck for luck thing was Andrew Luck is supposed to be a generational talent that he is worth everything. It's worth sucking for. It's worth getting the first round pick because he's going to save the franchise. And he did for a while because he was really effing good.
And why did the Colts get Luck? Because Peyton Manning had to get neck surgeries. And we saw how unimpressive that roster was without Peyton Manning.
It was
terrible. That was Grigson, right? That was still Ryan Grigson. So it wasn't Chris Ballard there yet at that time.
No, but the point that I'm making is like Anthony Richardson, everybody and their mother's like, yeah, this guy could be really good. He's a freaking freak athlete, is so incredibly impressive. But he's not Andrew Luck. He's not going to come in and be like, all right, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
So like, it just doesn't make sense. The comp doesn't make sense. And this whole situation is just weird. It's just
the funniest part right now is the Colts are literally going to continue to pay him to not play. Yeah. So in terms of value, they're getting the worst value possible right now.
It's odd. But real quick, speaking of contracts, TJ Hawkinson getting a contract, making him the highest paid tight end in the NFL. And
who do you think is going to be more important to their team if they were both playing? TJ Hawkinson or Jonathan Taylor?
What?
Who would be who?
Oh, like for the Vikings or the Colts?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jonathan.
Which player would produce more?
Well, so like,
And how much more money is TJ going to make right now?
yeah, I think, well, that's the thing. Hawkinson came to Minnesota last year and he did well for them. Like he performed well. He put up some good numbers. And I loved TJ Hockenson coming out of college, like, because he could block, he could run routes, he could catch. It was all the thing, right? But I will say, and this is one of the reasons why the Lions traded him away, they were not going to be able to pay him. Plus, they probably didn't want to pay him that much money. And I think for him to get that amount of money is a little odd. And I was like, okay, that's a lot. And you're like, oh, well, Darren Waller's getting paid a lot. I don't agree with that one either. Because like the only guys, like Travis Kelce should be the highest paid tight end in the league, right? Like I don't think there's any question about that. Then you have like, the George Kittles of the world, the Mark Andrews, and TJ Hockenson is a good tight end. I don't think he's the best tight end in the league. And I think, like, why do you do this then? Because you're about to give Justin Jefferson a boatload of money. They're still trying to get a deal done before week 1. But it's because I think they're going to have a rookie QB on the roster next year.
Yeah. They're locking in the guys to build around.
That's it. Like, they're going to be like, okay.
Kirko goes off, unless Big Kirko goes off.
But then Kirk Cousins goes off, and you just gave a whole bunch of money to a tight end and, arguably the best wide receiver in the league. I don't know how much money you're going to have for good old Kirk.
The one thing we know about Kirk Cousins is he plays for very fair salaries.
I'm just saying it's an interesting strategy. But again, it's like what I've said. I don't know. I don't think Kirk is on the team next year. So,
yeah, it depends on, I think, what they do in the postseason. But seems like their plan is no Big Kirko. Is that what he called himself in that ad? Big Kirko?
So. Oh, look at this.
We've got the new crappy logos.
Let's go, Rachel.
Rachel.
All right. Here we go. So we are saying which ones are playoff teams, which ones are fringe playoff teams. Dysfunction on number 3.
Yeah, we've got the third worst, most dysfunctional, second most dysfunctional, first most dysfunctional. We spent a lot of time talking about the Colts here, and I think they are dysfunctional.
I was going to say number 2. I was saying number 2.
Right in at number 2.
Are we just putting the Cardinals at number 1?
Yep.
Okay, good. I thought so. Yeah, we're already on the same page. That's it.
Oh, they're the Cardinals might be my favorite logo too. It's
the tank. It's phenomenal.
Tank.
I don't think they go to the Super Bowl. I think they make the playoffs though. I think the Saints make the playoffs.
Okay.
All right.
Now,
hold on. Who's number 3 though?
I know.
Ooh.
Who is number 3?
Ooh.
I have to think about this for.
All right, we'll come back. All right, playoff teams. We can do easy ones. Let's do Chiefs. Right? I mean, that's just right.
Fine.
Jaguars.
Yep.
You and I both believe in the Jaguars.
Well, yes. Okay.
Right. They're gonna be a playoff. Bengals.
You
don't think so? You don't think the Bengals are? Come on now.
I just think that division's no slam dunk. I just don't think they're the clear-cut favorites in that division right now.
Just put the Eagles up there then. Just put the Eagles up there before we have an argument.
Billy?
Do you think the Cowboys are going to make it?
Dude, I saw, I think it was Pro Football Focus did their like Super Bowl picks, and 2 of them had the Cowboys in there.
Yeah.
And I didn't even want to tag Scooter. I was like, this is gonna set his expectations too high.
It's true. It's true.
But it was a little surprising. Hey, a couple people pretty high on those Cowboys. So
I think it's because the NFC is so horrid.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Okay, yeah, we'll put the Cowboys on. Well, okay.
It's the NFC, Brandon. The bar's really low.
I know, but like that it's more about that division. I think the Giants could be better than the Cowboys this year.
But again, playoff teams. I mean, there could be 3 from the NFC East.
Eagles, Commanders, and Giants. I got that bet with Scoot. I can't back down now.
Oh, buddy, come on now. Okay, all right. So, Brandon, no, there has to be more than just those 3.
Only 3 teams make the playoffs this year. Crazy,
Brandon,
dude.
There's no.
Crazy.
No. Okay.
All right, so this is what we'll do. You pick a team, and I'll put it in, and then I'll pick a team and put it in.
Okay, here's the thing. I want I want to get this dysfunction 3. Hold on. I think there's some contenders here. The Raiders are up there.
Sure.
Right. The Browns are up there. The Rams, maybe?
Ooh.
That's a little bit of a dark horse dysfunction team because Cooper Kupp, unfortunately, injured again. He re-aggravated his hamstring, and so now he's day-to-day.
That's fair. I have the 49ers in the mix right now because
for Bosa?
They are getting the heat. They are getting the heat you've been calling for.
Thank God.
Jimmy G's throwing him under the bus. Trey Lance is gone. They're answering a lot of questions. Hey, and I think they're going to be fine with Brock Purdy. And I think the reason they haven't gotten all of that heat is because despite Trey Lance not working, they were in the NFC Championship game last year. So they're still a very good team. But Nick Bosa's not back right now. Like, that's another, like, ooh, what's going on?
I'll put the Bills up there for a playoff team.
100% agree with that one.
Yep.
Okay, so you picked the Bills. Ooh.
Here, can you do a favor? Can you just like sort the AFC and NFC teams up there? So like put the Eagles at the end. You know what I mean? So that because we'll count to 7 for each because it'd be 14.
Easy. I'll actually just do this.
Does it? That's the question. You do NFC, AFC?
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever been a tier maker where, Brandon, you haven't added extra tiers. I'm pretty sure for all of them.
No, that's how we do it.
Okay. There we go. There we go.
To blue.
Yeah, I was about to say, can you make it blue and red? Look at you. Look at you reading my mind. All right, we're good. Now I'm happy. Okay. You pick, buddy.
I am going to go with Seattle.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know if they'll win that division, but I feel like, yeah, they're going to be a playoff team. I think I've said they're going to regress, and so they're just going to do the opposite.
I'm putting Bengals in for the playoffs. I know their division's really difficult, but I don't see a world unless somebody gets like hurt that the Bengals aren't there.
Are you willing to say your boy Zach Taylor's a good head coach yet?
No, I'm saying Joe Burrow's a generational quarterback. And they have insane weapons on that team.
Yeah, Burrow's Burrow. We're not worried about Burrow.
Yeah, I'm worried a little about their secondary, but their D-line's really good. So, honestly, if the Commanders made a playoff run, I would root for them as long as not against the Packers. I would root for them to win the Super Bowl. Absolutely. The Commanders coming out and being good would be phenomenal.
Detroit. We got my Lions in there. Got Detroit all the way this time.
I'll put the Cowboys up for NFC just because it's the NFC.
Lions, Bills, Super Bowl. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yep.
Ooh. All right. So that's 4 teams.
So what do you got, buddy?
So we got 3 more for each, right?
By the way, Perna put the Lions up there. So if the Lions don't make it, he cursed them.
Detroit is in. You know what?
Oh! I saw what you were doing. I saw where that cursor was. Oh!
Putting them in. Putting the Browns in, Tom. I think they've got one of the sneakiest rosters right now. Everything does depend on Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
and
it's all on Deshaun Watson.
I do, but I just feel like they are going to be very good.
Oof. Most underrated? I don't know how it's possible. I think Andy Reid, though. I don't think Andy Reid gets talked about usually like Bill Belichick does.
I think I think the last year he's starting to get
season was good, but yeah, no, legitimately, like he's like one of the greatest of all time.
Zadarius Smith, Dalvin Tomlinson, Shelby Harris, Myles Garrett, JOK. Those Browns are going to get after QBs.
All right. So Good God. All right, this is going to get messy real quick. I'll put the 49ers up there for a playoff squad. It's the NFC.
Sorry.
So
49ers going to NFC. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's gonna get the AFC is tough, dude. The
It
AFC
really
is
is.
difficult.
You know what? Man. I mean, it's like
Because like Ravens, Steelers, Jets,
going Dolphins. Dolphins are
Chargers.
in. The Dolphins are in.
Dude, so you don't so oh man, I don't know. I think the Jets make it. I do. I think the Jets make it.
I think they're fringe.
Mike Tomlin. Because
Because I think
all right.
I'm going to put all the AFC teams that I think are fringe right now.
Okay, but we still have to add one. You think the Patriots?
Yeah.
What about the Ravens?
Sure. They're fringe. Like, this is how stacked the AFC is right now. And you know what? Fuck it. Go Broncos.
No, Jim Brandon, come on now. Your guy's schedule sucks, by the way. Have you looked at your schedule? Like, just the layout of games is awful.
Don't matter.
Okay. All right.
Don't matter.
The Patriots and Broncos, come on, man.
The only teams that I believe are not AFC fringe teams are the Raiders, the Texans, and that's it, I guess. I guess that's it.
Buddy, okay. I
So
don't
we
even
got to
know.
whittle this out then, right? My point of putting all of these guys up there
I
was
get it.
like to say, like, I think all of these teams
I
could
get it.
get there.
I get it.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We still haven't done NFC.
Let's just get our 7th AFC team playoffs. You think? I honestly think it's between. Oh man, if I had to rank where I think they'll be.
Dude, what in God's name are you doing?
So I think Chargers very, very fringe.
You think
Steelers
the
very
Patriots? I'm no. I'm sorry. This is an abomination. I cannot continue this any longer. You think the Patriots have a better shot of making the playoffs than the Ravens?
Yeah,
Please explain the logic.
they have a better head coach. They've got a better defense, and I think Mac Jones is going to be a lot better with an offensive coordinator. They were 8-9 last season. They're like, you're talking about a 2 wins away. And they were having a special teams guy and a defensive guy call the plays for their offense. One of the dumbest moves ever.
So here's the thing. I actually don't disagree with Perna about the Browns because if Deshaun Watson plays anything like he did in Houston, they'll make the playoffs.
Best running back in the league, Nick Chubb. Amari Cooper, one of the more underrated wide receivers.
Yes.
Add Elijah Moore there.
So that I have no problem with. That one I'm like, fine. I give that one to Perna. But my dude, like, come on now.
Was the Patriots defense very good last year?
It was good.
Okay. If you've got a very good defense, then
Dude,
you're gonna be in close games. Look, do I want the Patriots to be horrible? Yes. I want the Patriots and the Browns to be horrible. I'm trying to be as honest as I can right now. I'm not doing this to be.
You were giving me pushback about the Bengals. You were giving me push about the Bengals.
I think I feel like they've had 2 very good seasons in a row, and you're always going to have a shot when you've got a good QB, and they do. But Patriots, I don't trust Cincinnati to be that consistent. The
Patriots have 6 games, 6 minimum, that are going to be hell, and that's just in their division.
So do the Bengals.
If the Browns are good,
they will be. Their defense is going to be very good. Mark my words.
Oh my God! All right. Oh my God. All right, so you think the Chargers are the number set? I think, dude, the Jets, I don't know. The Jets things have to go really wrong for them not to make the postseason.
You want to put the Jets there?
But that's the thing. I personally, I take the Browns out and I would replace it probably with like the Chargers or Steelers.
Nope, I already put the Browns in.
I know you did.
You can move any other team you want there.
Yes.
And honestly, I picked the Jags to go to the Super Bowl yesterday on clickbait. But I honestly am not even sold that they'll win that division. I think Tennessee has a shot. Like they have just as good of a chance to win that division as the Jags. We're kind of writing Ryan Tannehill off, and I think that division is so bad. Either both the Texans and Jags could win a lot of games. And right now, if you're going to pick a defense you like more, I like Tennessee's defense more than I like Jacksonville's. I like everything on the Jacksonville's offense better outside of running back, right?
I like ETN a lot. Obviously, it doesn't compare to Derrick Henry, but like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
you know what, Brandon? I'll let you pick the last AFC team. You go. You whatever your heart desires.
That's 7.
That's you put the Jets up there?
I put the Jets for you.
No, is that what you pick?
I think Steelers, Browns atop the AFC North, and the Chargers or Broncos sneak in for number 7.
Okay.
But I can roll with this. I'm fine with this.
Nah. Bill Belichick is one of the best coaches. He is. No, he's like insanely good.
Still good.
He's insanely good. He is. Okay. I'm just gonna let. Yep.
1,
That's
2,
it.
3,
It's
4, 5, 6.
You just put the Giants up there?
Giants in the playoffs, baby.
You know what? Put the Packers in there.
Trust Daniel Jones, but I believe in Dable, baby.
What about there needs to be a team from the NFC South, so that means that like they would have to be like the Saints who have to go in.
Yeah, sure.
I think the Packers have a chance more than the Giants. There's my hot take.
Ooh.
Because I think that the Packers are in an easier division.
I don't think it's going to be that easy.
No, I don't think it's going to be easy. I think that the Packers
I think Vikings will be competitive. I think the Bears will be more competitive. But Bears or Vikings? Who has a better record?
Vikings.
So they fringe.
That's the thing. I think the Panthers and Falcons could be fringe guys too. Legit. I think they could.
Sure.
This is an abomination to God. I mean, like, I agree with those bottom 5. I do. I mean, I do.
It's bottom 7 because we got
it's bottom 7.
These teams, the Bears will be better, but not all the way there yet. I can buy into that. Like, which one of these fringe teams do you look at and you don't believe that they'll be good, Tom?
Patriots. I don't think that they're going to. I think, dude, they're in a rough division. Like the way, because I just recorded the AFC East stuff. What I was saying was, if you just compare all 4 teams in the AFC East, even with an improved offense, the Patriots cannot match the firepower of the Dolphins, Bills, or Jets. In my humble opinion.
All right, I'll give you your no team is the Patriots.
Broncos, I actually so I have them with a low floor, but their ceiling was like a 10-7 record.
Ooh, their ceiling is 13-4.
Nope, it was 10-7. It was 10-7.
Their ceiling.
It was 10-7. And I was being nice. You can't beat the Raiders, my friend.
Last year, the new season, week 1.
The year before that.
We about to find out.
Wait, how many years have the Raiders beaten the Broncos? Is it 3?
Just 3.
Just 3. They've been sweeping them for 3 years?
Dude, when the Chiefs have done it for 6.
No.
Like,
that's worse. But my friend. You got to beat, a division rival first.
Oh, we'll kill them.
I said 10-7, and I thought that was being nice. What are you doing?
I'm off the Ravens.
Yeah, you are like recently. You're really off the Ravens train, huh? I know you don't
Off
like
of it.
OBJ. I think you think that he's done. Okay.
Hey,
I mean, it's
one of
very
my favorite
valid to have
players is Lamar
concerns.
Jackson. Like, just unabashedly love him.
Okay. You know what?
It's just a
Here's-
gut. I'm going gut here.
Here's what I'm going to say. If you had to pick one team to make the playoffs between the Ravens and the Commanders in the NFC, which is easier. The Ravens, I think, have a better team than the Commanders. Who do you pick?
Commanders.
I knew it was going to be good. I knew what the answer was.
It's the biggest addition by subtraction possibly in NFL history. Dan Snyder gone.
So I just want to be very clear. You think the Ravens have a less of a chance to make the postseason than the Commanders?
Yep. And I agree. I think the Ravens have they have a more talented offense. I don't know if they have I don't think they have a more talented defense, actually. But what do the Ravens struggle with every year, regardless?
Injuries.
Yep. Like Lamar Jackson, my favorite player. Is he going to be healthy in December? Are 12 other guys that are going to be important to that offense going to be healthy in December? Maybe that changes this year. The Broncos, it's the same thing.
Sure.
It's just a real problem, and it's already a problem for the Broncos. The one thing that scares me about the Broncos is injuries. Like, I think Russ will be better. I don't know how good, but I think he'll be better. Sean Payton will be better. I think a lot of things can be going right for Denver.
Sure.
And they still just don't win enough games because of shit that's out of their control.
It's the AFC is a monster.
That's the same thing with the Ravens. And until it's like I see different, it's hard for me to buy in. And it's not like a knock on the Ravens. It's just like that scares me.
No, I agree with you.
Same with Chargers too. Like, I would love to give Chargers more credit than the Chiefs and the Raiders in the division. But they got into the playoffs last year, and it was a horrific collapse.
I think for me, my 4 playoff like fringe teams out of this list that are not already on there would be like Chargers, Steelers, Titans, Ravens.
Sure.
Like that makes sense to me. I'm like, yeah, one of those teams like should be like right there. And because I don't even know, because the AFC, dude, the AFC is going to be a gauntlet. Like, it is going to be bad. It's going to be rough. It's going to be difficult to make the postseason because you have 2 divisions right off the bat. The AFC North is going to be potentially the best in football. The AFC East is right around there. Like, and that's like entire divisions. Like, you could see 3 teams from each of those divisions go.
So yeah, it's like, though, but does if it's a bunch of good teams, does it make getting into the playoffs actually harder? Or because more teams that are good play each other and maybe lose a few more games, does it give that team that's on the fringe a better opportunity because they don't have to win quite as many games?
So, no, I completely understand. That's why the Titans, I think, could theoretically sneak in because their schedule is easier.
Yeah, that's why I have them there too. It's like,
yes,
I'm saying they could possibly even win that. Both Jacksonville could be a 12-win team. The Titans could be 11, vice versa, or 13 or whatever. And it's just because they crush their division. They win a couple of key games outside of that. And even when the Titans had the best record in the AFC 2 seasons ago, we were like, they're a good team, but nobody was like, they're the best team, right? Like, the Eagles had the best record in the NFC. Or wait, was it the Vikings? Who did that?
No, the Eagles were the number 1 seed.
Number 1 seed. The Vikings had the best record for a bit, though, right?
They did for like no, because the Eagles were undefeated for a while, and then there was like a maybe it could happen. Then the Cowboys could have snuck in, but remember because the Vikings lost in the wild card round.
Either way, my point was gonna be like, people believe the Eagles were as good as their record, and everybody with the Vikings were like, I don't know if they're actually as good as their record.
Sure,
and that could easily be the Titans.
Yes,
a lot of wins, but they don't even have to be as good as their record.
Correct. Yes,
But-
because we're not talking about like, oh my God, they're amazing. They might just do enough to make the postseason because they win the games that they should, and then they have a high record at the end.
Yeah.
I see that logic 100%. Well, that's why, like, for the NFC,
I don't think the Panthers will be a fringe playoff team.
you don't think they're fringe?
No.
Okay. You think Falcons overpay? So
I don't think the Falcons are either. It's just like
wait till halfway.
one
Twitter.
team has to be in second place in that division. I actually think the Bucks have a better shot to win more games than the Falcons. But
because like week 1, so I was going through predictions last night for week 1 because I'm starting to like write them out. Panthers, Falcons, I have no idea. I have no idea who I even give the edge to. Like I'm leaning Falcons, but I have no idea. Like it's difficult. The NFC South, should put the NFC South down there.
oh, there we go.
Because there is a world where the Bucks win enough games too.
Yeah.
There is a world.
Like it sucks that Ryan Jensen got hurt at center.
I don't think they're gonna like. I think they're gonna be one of the worst teams in the league, but they could if their offensive line can like somewhat protect Baker Mayfield and Baker is
their
just
offensive line is good.
They have weapons.
Their line is good. Their defense was good. We've seen Baker play decent football. They can easily win. Like they could be 9-8 and get in. But yeah, I don't trust that division. Just same like the AFC South. The South is a mess, but I feel good about this.
Here's the problem, Brandon, and here's a legitimate. So, in your heart of hearts, this is how we end the show. In your heart of hearts, do you legitimately believe the Broncos could be a playoff team this year?
Yeah, I believe they could be.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Why?
I think they're better. And I think last year they won 5 games, which is not good. But even when things were going really bad, a lot of those games were still close.
Okay.
Like shit was bad, but they were keeping games close. And I think they can do it again. And actually win a handful of those games.
It's like, because I
just think Sean Payton is a lot better head coach.
I do think he's better. Yes, I think that you definitely got an upgrade there. Javonte Williams, if he's healthy, like I like that too. I do worry about your O-line a bit.
Sure. Yeah, I worry about it as well.
Because like I was looking at like, dude, this stretch is not fun. Like this is brutal, my friend.
Oh, I love it.
We'll see what happens with this.
Jets won't be that good. We're going to beat the Chiefs once. Packers, cakewalk. Bills sucks. We'll lose to them. Vikings, easy. Browns, that's a playoff team.
Dude, look at this. Like, this stretch is not fun either.
Yeah,
like,
you can find that on every schedule, though.
Dude, but you have a stretch of 4 games, like, twice that are not good. And you can even argue if Minnesota and, like, Cleveland... Like, this is, dude, right here, like, that's not a fun schedule.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. Okay. Make it harder, is what I say.
The reason I'm asking is because as we get closer, and it might be my bias, and everyone in the chat's going to tell me it 100% is my bias, I legitimately think the Packers would be a wild card team.
Sure. You got to believe that right now.
No. I don't have to. I like legitimately like trying to take all my homework, like take it all out of there. I think if that defense is anywhere near where it should be, where we've been predicting it to be, and that offensive line gives time for love, I think they can win enough game in a really bad NFC.
Sure. I buy that too. I think they got a shot.
Yeah. So I think they have a winning record.
Yeah. Their defense currently is a lot better than Minnesota's. Minnesota's defense could be better, and if they are, then Minnesota's going to be a formidable football team.
There's such an unknown for like the NFC, and I hope the NFC is fun this year, and like a team like the Seahawks pops up And they're like, oh man, like they're shockingly good. Nobody expected that. Even the Vikings last year, like it was insane watching them win games. Like, it was crazy. And I was like, okay, and it made I hated it because it was the Vikings, but it made the NFC more fun. The AFC just feels like it's going to be a bloodbath.
Blood. Fountain of blood.
Like if the Broncos were in the
From
NFC.
blood and flames, the Broncos will emerge stronger.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, if they were in the NFC, I think the Broncos could be an AF, like they could be a contender. It's going to be tough in the AFC.
The best thing that could happen for me and the Broncos is they lose like their first 3 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's dunking on them. I'm losing my mind and people are enjoying my team sucking. Lose like the first 3 games. And then they just start putting that win streak together.
Oh boy, here we go.
Start off horrible and then sneak into the playoffs after having like, oh, no team who started 0-4 ever makes the playoffs. That's the turn I want. Both for my mental health and for my YouTube success. Horrible into playoffs.
Dude, I'm telling you, the freaking the Broncos Packers game legit might be like a big game because it might be like you need to prove it. And we're just going to be, we're going to, that's going to be,
we need to break. What's the most you've ever had in a stream?
30,000.
Was that DeMar Hamlin?
There was that, but then there was, I think it was the Lions game or it was the Buccaneers game that I matched it. No, I think it was the Lions game. I matched it.
Yeah, we need to break it. We need to break that record.
I mean, we might. I mean, legitimately, if depending on how our teams do, because we're week 7, right?
Yeah,
I think it's week 7. I think that it could be. It's in Mile High too, so that is a disadvantage.
What do you think's better, if they're both in first place or they're both in last place in the division? What's better for that stream?
If for the stream, it'd be first place.
Okay,
it'd be first place. But there you go. So tomorrow was 30. Lions Packers was 31.
Wow.
There you go.
I do want to shout out the Buffalo Bills YouTube channel for putting me in a video before the Broncos even thought about it. Now, was it my face? No, but I got in. Josh Allen becomes the first Buffalo Bill to land the cover of Madden.
When he got that Madden cover, I was anything but surprised.
That was me and Kay Adams. Me, Kay Adams. Me.
There you go.
Kay Adams.
There you go.
Also had the Pardon My Take guys. So really.
You're basically crushing it.
Your move, Broncos. Your move.
Well, I mean, I got a custom jersey from the Broncos. That was very nice.
Yeah, they acknowledged me in secret. So that's tight.
Hey, you got the signed cheerleader.
Hey, they're very kind to me. I'm just asking them to step up the game a little bit.
I think you should do the opposite. I think you should lobby to be featured with the Packers.
I'll probably get in a Chiefs video before the Broncos.
I like it. Partner, what do you got coming out today, buddy?
I don't know if I'm going to get this video edited in time, but I'm working on a new video / concept.
Oh,
it's called Explaining the 2023 Broncos to Non-Football Fans. That does well. So I got drunk up in the mountains one night, and I just started writing.
Yeah,
I just started writing. Explaining the NFL to non-football fans, and I was like thinking about if I were to explain football to Carmi.
Yeah.
So just like going like the most basic dumb shit and then exaggerating it a little bit. I was like, well, this might work. Like the NFL is kind of hard. I don't know how to break it down quite as easily as like the Broncos. So I'm like, let me start there, pivot to that, and we'll see.
Okay.
So it's using like a lot of metaphors to describe like who is Russell Wilson to the team, who's Peyton, or Sean Payton. We'll see if it does well. It'll probably tank. So anyway.
It's like the trailer because you come up with like great dude. Because that's what I did for the Super Bowl. Like the Super Bowl, I don't remember if it was last year or the year before. I did a skit where it was like people attending the Super Bowl and they had no idea about the Super Bowl. They were just going there because it was like a party kind of thing. Are you going like that kind of route where it's like you don't even know what football is?
That's kind of the NFL angle. It's breaking some of that stuff down. The Broncos one, I'm assuming, you understand a little bit more. And honestly, like if football fans are going to watch it first, but maybe it's like funny enough people share, but I don't know.
Okay.
Whoa. Johnny's editing a beast. In 2016, I sent it to him and I was like, here's going to be the problem, Johnny. Because we talk about like the Olympics, we talk about some other stuff. I'm like, can't use Olympic footage. Because it will, nope, don't do it. So like all the things where you just throw in like some NFL stuff, and even if it gets claimed, you're not worried about it. Since we're talking about all these other sports, it's a little bit like NCAA college shit. I'm like, can't use any footage.
Nope.
So he's working hard. Anyway, what do you got, Tom? I didn't mean to promo my shit that long.
Oh, it's all good. I got NFC West predictions coming out today, and then I recorded all 4 AFC ones yesterday. So yeah, that, and then Friday night Q&A coming out tonight. Well, yeah, regular time. Nice. All good. We're rocking. Also, Friday. I didn't check recently, but the Pick'ems is. I saw somebody ask. I think it might have been Ray. The Pick'ems is open for on ESPN. If I'm not mistaken, we are the 8th largest group on ESPN. So let me just triple. Yeah. We got 4,100 people in there. I'm pretty sure we're number 8. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, the only thing we're behind is Cowboy fans. Everything else is like sponsor stuff like Sports Center, pardon the interruption. So
boom.
Go to any of the videos. Go to the link. Rock and roll, baby. So
my pick'ems are on Patreon. So sorry.
There you go. But folks, thank you so much for watching. We will be back on Monday. And it will be the week of freaking fracking football starting. And I will say, I'm also in a really good mood because it's pajama pants season, baby. That's right. It got down to 50 last night, and I was like, wow. Okay, I see you, weather. It's fall time. It's football. It's Oktoberfest beer, and it's freaking fracking hoodie season. Nice. I don't have to see the sun ever again. But folks, thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. We'll be back on Monday. And this is GPS. And you have been navigated.
Go Lions.